I want y'all to understand that successful men have all the resources in the world to find the right women for them. They have the opportunity to meet women, whether they travel, whether they work in an environment where there's a lot to choose from. They're going to have options. And when you see the behavior that is going online and what these women are doing and how some of these males too, because you got these weak, crazy males, man. These guys are crazy as the women. Jealous, effeminate, weak, sorry. Their own lives are crumbling, but they think that, you know what, if I do this and I take the opposite opinion, then these women are going to want me. Bro, those women ain't going to want you either. Those women will deal with me a lot quicker than they will ever deal with you. You know how many women have come to me and told me at first, Jay, I didn't like you. I didn't like what you were saying. But after I kept listening, I became a fan. Can anybody say that about some of you? I think not. You know why? And I'm gonna address you purple pill ragers on Patreon. You purple pill ragers are on my radar. Anyway, you got women that understand what's going on. They understand that the jig is up. You cannot play these, I'm going to shame you into submitting. I'm going to shame you into not saying anything. I have everybody else on my side and you're going to bow to me. That's not going to happen. There's just too much information flowing, right? You even having the bigger, more quote unquote mainstream blogs actually being accepting of what a lot of men are saying about this modern day woman. You got the level up divestment women who are living in the clouds. They have not caught up. They have not been able to see what is going on. The turning of the tide, right? That men are no longer going to, especially in the melanated community, they're no longer going to put up with your BS. Only type of males that are going to put up with your BS are males who need you, or males who need to be fed by you. But men who have money and resources, they not going to deal with you. They can pick and choose. No matter if you trying to hop the fence or not. Do you think Caucasian men are just going to deal with you because you act a little different? They know what you're trying to get at them for. They know that it's not nothing real. You're just putting on a front. They know this. And what happens is they grow bored. What happens is they grow frustrated. They know that you're only with them because of how they look. Right? That's why you will date, you'll hop over the fence, and you will quote unquote level up by dating a guy who, if there was a black equivalent of that, you wouldn't go within 20 feet of. But all it takes is lighter skin. Ain't that something? They accuse melanated men of being colorist. But who's some of the biggest colorists around?
The career woman has no time for her husband.
Absolutely not. She's gonna push around any man she comes in contact with. It's her nature, I guess. A new nature. But what a lot of modern day women don't understand is that men are saying, you know what? I don't have to put up with this. I do have options. Yes, you do. There's a lot of women out here. That's why when I see these guys fighting over women, arguing over women, it's like, what are you doing? There's like 100 women like her. Unless she's displaying qualities that no other woman has, then why are you fighting over her? It can't because, she has a big ass. That's, because there's plenty of that around. All I gotta do is look at Instagram. There's plenty of that around. You ain't missing nothing. You can find that elsewhere. What is it? Right? Because in the first place, a woman who have qualities wouldn't put herself in the middle of two men going at each other. She would find somebody to be with and be with them instead of getting caught up out here in these streets. Too much of that is going on. You modern day women got to understand that it's a wrap for your BS.
Level up women only want a high-value man so they can have their bills paid, be lazy, and hope to avoid actually having to be a wife or girlfriend.
Appreciate that, AJ. Well, see, that's the thing. If you don't have those qualities, a man is not going to work hard for you. Like, if you on here talking about I'm a gold digger, what you really think a man's going to want to put a ring on your finger? Usually a man who wants to marry a woman wants to marry a woman who's, one, a challenge, and two, displays the qualities of a wife and a mother, somebody that you want around your children, raising your children, right? Somebody that you can talk to and you can actually have a good, decent conversation about what's going on now or the future, making plans. Maybe there are things that she can add maybe in her career field, ideas that are actually beneficial. Not somebody that you have to do the thinking for. Not somebody that's lazy, that doesn't want to do anything, right? I think that in years past, a lot of women could have gotten away with that, but not necessarily now because we have access to so much information. We know what's going on. You can't pull the wool over nobody's eyes, right? And I think that's where the frustration comes into play. The frustration comes into play, and make sure y'all like the stream. The frustration that comes into play is that you have women who knowingly dated the wrong type of men. And I said it in my live stream Wednesday. You got women who will date the wrong men for years. They will date the wrong men for years until they get tired of dating those type of men. You know why? Because now they have a bunch of kids by a bunch of different guys, and they're not getting chose. Like, once men come into their life and find out that these women have like 4 kids or 5 kids, those men are not gonna stay. And they know this. So the quickest way to push off blame is to say, well, there's no good men. When we all know that that's propaganda. We all know these women are dating the same type of men. Like, if you know a girl that has a boyfriend in jail, 9 times out of 10, you already know what type of men she likes. She could just drop that little bit of info, you know? They'll just give you that little bit of info, and you already know from that the type of men that they're into. But the reason why she may be giving you a chance is because she realizes that she has to open up her dating options. Because if she doesn't, she's going to be single for a very, very long time. She's going to grow old and alone. She's going to be raising the grandkids, right? And then raise their kids or help raise their kids. She's going to be a babysitter. You're going to look back on your life and you're going to think, wow, I used to be the it girl. You know, had all these different dudes wanting to date you. Now look at you. You don't have anything. You're alone. Your kids don't even talk to you. The only time you see them is when they need something. You've let these years pass you by, and that's what we're seeing. We're seeing women who've let their best years pass by. Now all of a sudden they see men saying, you know what, you're just not good enough. And they're mad about that. You're not good enough. A lot of these women aren't good enough. But they want to perpetrate this fraud as if they are. And they're not. Listen, nobody's perfect. But accept who you are. You're going to have options It's just not the options that you want. A lot of these modern women have options that they refuse to look at because the guys may not be tall enough. They may not be street enough, right? They may not have enough women trying to get at them, because we all know that women like a man who has multiple women trying to get with him. But unless you understand that you need to be comfortable in your own skin and accept who you are, you're going to constantly be a single because you're looking for something that you cannot get. You're looking for a percentage of men that have a lot of options, that may be in better positions than you, look better than you, have no kids. They're more polished. You can bring them around other successful rich people and they blend in, not stick out like a sore thumb. You have a conversation. This guy done brought this woman to a party or to a get together, and they're asking you questions. Ask her question. How many kids do you have? And you tell how many kids. Oh, y'all have those kids. Like, nah, she had those kids before, we got together, and you with no kids, they're going to look at you like, oh, really? or you bring her there, man, and she don't know how to hold no conversation. And you got to do all the talking for her, basically. That's why these level up women, they try to impress by how they dress themselves up. But if you bring them into a public setting around other people who can actually read right through them, they're going to know quickly that this person is not a good fit. And trust me, they're going to tell that guy. They're going to tell him. That's why you have women who are good for being side pieces. The side piece culture has grown. The side piece culture has grown and has gotten more and more bigger. You got women that are accepting of being side pieces because they would rather have some of his time than none of his time. Let me read these super chat. Let me read these Cash Apps real quick. Shout out to Vernon with the 5 on Cash App. I appreciate that, man. All right, shout out to Darnez. He says, love the work you put in. Appreciate that, Darnez. Shout out to Darnez. All right. Shout out to D. Presley with the 10 on Cash App. I appreciate that, man. And shout out to Dominique. It says, paying my respect, Neek. Appreciate that, man. Shout out to the people sending me Cash Apps. I appreciate that. Salute to y'all for the support. Hold on a second. I was going in, man. I wasn't even looking, man. Let's see. I think that's, yeah. But yeah, man, listen, I cannot be around women like that if they can't hold a conversation. I'm not about to sit there and talk to myself. And I don't even like talking to women like that anyway, unless they have intelligence and there's something I can talk to them about. But there are other women, you have to do all the talking. And it's like, well, sheesh. I mean, unless you're just extremely, extremely attractive, you got guys that they'll do all the talking for you. Absolutely. They will do all the talking. You wouldn't even have to worry about that. Damn, women can't flirt. Been told I talk to them. Well, there's nothing wrong with women talking, but you got women who will not say anything, or maybe they'll say too much, but it's all about understanding your environment and, interacting in that environment, being like a social chameleon. I think that's the main thing, But you definitely don't want to be sitting up there talking to yourself. You feel like you're asking the questions and you're answering your own questions. It's like, oh man, it's going to get crazy, But again, this is why side chick culture is growing. You got women that are okay now being the side piece. They're okay with it. And you could tell they're okay with it because they're never in relationships. Have y'all noticed that? But they're constantly exposing the married dude they were in a relationship with. How many single, quote unquote, women? I need to take a sip. How many women who are single, quote unquote, always get caught up with some married guy they claim they didn't know he was married?